I have rehydrated some gum ammoniac, which you can see has become a lot brighter because it started to reflect more light. And if you are rehydrating this, you also need to rub it with a brush, preferably very vigorously, to make sure that the gesso is dissolving. If you don't do this, I notice it just sits there and doesn't really absorb any moisture. Once you got some dissolved gesso, you can just take a brush, dip it in, and start applying it to your illumination. I typically like to start in a small corner of my painting to make sure that the gesso has the right thickness, something I only really noticed when I'm actually applying it. The first layer that you apply also becomes nearly invisible, especially upon the fish glue grounding. And that's because it's a very, very thin layer, so the colorant doesn't really appear. Ultimately, you're gonna have to apply a starter layer to which the next layers can adhere. And in that case, I typically add 3 or 4 layers to make sure that the gold adheres well. If your layer is too thin, then you will probably get adhesion problems. And once the gold is already added, I'm not sure you can actually add extra gesso anymore. For this larger area, I want to give a hint. So if you have a large area that you need to apply gold leaf to, and there are some extremities in it, for example between its horns, just under its chin and near its feet and tail, it can be a bit challenging where to start, because you want to put down an even coat to ensure that the gold leaf is very, very flat. So what I typically like to do is to start filling in the extremities first and then work towards a corner. So you can see I started under the chin, did that big area, and then I'm applying some gesso between its horns and working along that edge there. And then once the edge has been laid out, I can start brushing in more gesso over the larger area and make sure that I'm getting a nice, straight, even coat. Once I finish this layer of gesso, I can just leave to dry for an hour. However, the tin with the hydrated gesso, you might want to cover with a lid to prevent it from drying out. Otherwise, you have to keep rehydrating it every few hours or so. Just remember to let it dry out once you're actually done with it. Otherwise, it's gonna get moldy. Usually I just cover it with a little piece of silk through which the moisture can evaporate, but dust can't get through.